Welcome, Clarity Coders. Today we have our first coding challenge using the spam ham database. So this database that I'll link below, and I'll also give you the URL and how to import it here, classifies text messages as either ham, which is a normal text message, or spam, which is a spam text message. And it does this in the first column of the dataset. And then in the second column, it has the actual message. So this challenge has two parts. The first, I want you to go over just the second column, just the messages. It doesn't matter if they're ham or spam, and find me the most popular character. And I want you to treat all the characters as lowercase. So all the alpha characters will be lowercase. Now I'm going to tell you when to pause, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Part two, question number 2, and you can skip right to this if you would like, is I want you to find me the most popular word of just the spam messages. And I want you to remove anything that isn't an alpha character. So anything that isn't A through Z. And I also want you to convert it to lowercase. If you're the first to do that, in the comments below, you get a shout out in the next video and on our season 1 Coding Challenges Hall of Fame. Now, if you don't need any hints for the first problem, you can pause right now. I have a small hint and I'm going to show you how I'm going to get set up right now really quick. So I'm going to pull open Spider here. That's what I'm going to use to do this challenge. You can use any language you want. I am going to use an outside library. I'm going to use pandas. This is how I would import the data. Now, this is the little hint that I was talking about. You want to change the encoding because we have some strange characters in there. So you want to use this as your encoding. All right, problem 1. Pause right now. So hopefully you were successful and got through that first problem. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how I would solve this problem. And then don't forget to comment on the second problem below. The most popular spam word is what I want below in the comments. All right, first things first, we have our data set here. And like we talked about before, we're not really concerned with any columns besides this V2 column for question 1. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that right away. So this is going to come in as a series because we're only grabbing one column. So I'm going to grab V2 as our one column. Let's go ahead and run this and just make sure everything works okay. And now you can see here, if I open up my series, I do have a row for each one of the lines in our file. Awesome. So now we can iterate over a series. So I'm going to say for, and my next item is just a variable, so I can pick whatever I want. So I'm going to say line just because it makes sense to me, in, and then whatever I want to iterate over. So I want to iterate over our series. And now I'm going to print out my line each time so you can see that. And I'm also going to show you what the type of the line is. So I'm going to print that out as well. I'm going to run this one more time. And you'll see that these are simply strings that I'm printing out. So I can treat it just like a string. So my line variable, I want to go ahead and convert it to lowercase. So I'm going to set line equal to line.lower. That'll convert this to lowercase. And now I can iterate over the line itself because it's just a string. So I'm going to say for character in line. So now I have an individual character. Now, what do I want to do with that? I got to store it somewhere. So I'm going to create a dictionary called characters, and I'm going to set it equal to just a blank dictionary. And now every time I iterate over this, I want to check if it's in the dictionary already. So if my character already exists in my characters dictionary, I want to look at that character's dictionary at the character key. So if this is T, for example, I'm going to be looking at the T key in my character's dictionary. And I want to increase the value by 1. Otherwise, I want to create the first instance of that character key in my dictionary, and I want to set it equal to 1. So what's happening here? The first time I encounter a T, it's going to say, is my T in characters already? The answer is going to be no, the first time I see a T. So it's going to create a character with a key value of T, and it's going to set the value equal to 1. Now, the next time we encounter a T, it's going to hit the first part of the loop, and whatever value was stored in there before, it's going to increase it by 1. So if it's my second time seeing a T, it's going to increase from 1 to 2, and it'll show me that I've encountered a T twice. So after this is done, let's print out our characters and just take a look at that really quick. And you'll see I forgot an S here. I probably shouldn't have named them characters and character. That's a little confusing. So let's look at our characters dictionary at the character key. Awesome. So you'll see our dictionary here. You can see we have different characters and their associated value. You'll also notice they're not in an order right now. So let's go ahead and get them in a sorted order. So dictionaries aren't sorted by value, so we can do sort characters, and this is just a variable. You could call it whatever you wanted. And I'm just going to do a simple lambda function to move all the high values to the top. So I'm going to say sorted characters equals value first, then key. And I'm going to do a lambda function. So I'm going to say for key and value this way in characters.items. So what am I doing here? Characters.items is going to grab a key value pair and pass it back. I'm going to name those in a variable names of my choice as key and then value. And then I'm going to store those in the reverse order. So I'm going to store the value first and then the key. And I'm doing that so then I can run it through a sorted function. So then I'm going to sort those tuples. And what that's going to give me back is a sorted list of tuples. Now, if I look at this, you can see that it starts with the lowest occurrences. So the very last item is our most popular character, which is just a blank space. Now, we could reverse that, but we can also grab them out with the reverse index in Python. So I'm going to look at our sort characters, and I'm going to grab out -1, and you'll see sort characters, that is, and I'm going to grab it with -1, and you can see it started from the end of the list and moved the opposite direction. Now, if I do -2, you'll see it grabs the second most popular. So that's how we're going to iterate over this to grab out our most popular. So I'm going to set my index to start out at -1, and then I'm going to iterate over this. So I'm going to say for I in range 5. So this will iterate 5 times, but it's going to start with I equaling 0. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to print out, and I'm going to use an F string. So remember, you had to have Python 3.4, 3.6 here. Curly brackets. I'm going to use that I value. I'm going to add 1 to it. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead. Just going to add a dash in. And I'm going to grab the value out of sort underscore characters at our index. So you'll see here, I can grab out a certain index like this, and then I can grab out the letter by doing another set of square brackets and the index of the value I want. So I want the 1 index, 0, 1. And you'll see that gets me back the letter E. So I'm going to start at 1, and then I want the 1 index here. And then every time we do this, we want to update our index to be minus equal 1. So the first time it's going to be -1, then -2, then -3, so on and so forth. And if we run this, you'll see we get out our 5 most popular characters. Awesome. Try that. Try question number 2 as well. Post it below. Remember, question number 2 is to find the most popular word over 3 characters that's of the classification type spam. 2 notes, convert everything to be lowercase, and just use alpha characters, so just A through Z. Give that a shot, comment below, and until next time, keep coding.